In this video, I want to give you all the information so that you can save money, book your flight better, and maybe get better holidays when booking trips. Okay, I've taken more than 1,000 flights. I've booked more than 1,000 tickets. I think I've learned a lot. So let's go over these and maybe that's gonna help you out, okay? So first of all, try to stick with an airline if you can. Okay, yes, things change and you may move to another country where the airline doesn't fly very easily, but if you can, at the very least, stick with a group, okay? So in my case, Star Alliance, I'm a 3 million miler, give me platinum for life with United. I did that with Continental, however, and I don't really like United. Now I'm sort of stuck with them, but the fact that I'm getting elite travel every single time, you know, more luggage, lounge access and stuff like that, it's worth it. If you can, stick with the airline more than with price, okay, if it makes sense. Of course, if it's always way more expensive, then it's not worth it. But accumulating the miles and a benefit over time really is gonna help you. Always book with the airline directly, especially now during COVID, okay? Because the truth is, if you need to have your ticket changed or refunded, booking with an airline is gonna help you out right away. And the prices from the airline is generally cheaper, you don't have any handling fees, and you don't risk the travel agent to actually try to screw you and charge you more for the ticket. A lot of them do that. Try to book directly with the airline, much better for every single thing. If you have upgrades or things like that, the airline is going to do that, not the travel agent. Don't rely on the airport staff, the staff on board the plane for anything related to visa, country entry, what you can bring in a country. They don't generally know. The reason why is because they are traveling to many, many countries. There are 205 countries in the world and almost as many permutation, okay? So as a Canadian, I can travel to country A without visa, but my wife as a Vietnamese cannot. And the other way around, okay? I need a visa to go to Laos, she does not, okay? It's impossible for the airport staff or for people on the phone to give you all that information. This is not where you're gonna get that info. Check on the website of the country, verify the information related to you, your country, your status, how you're gonna travel, when you're gonna travel. Don't count on the staff to give you the right information on this. It could put you in trouble, or you can get to the airport and not even be able to board the flight. If you travel to a country where you need a visa, okay, try to apply in advance with the e-visa if they have it. And I mean in advance, let's say a week or two, okay? Of course, if the ticket lasts 6 months or 30 days, you don't want to apply 20 days in advance, okay? But try to apply in advance. Often it will happen that, for example, I flew to Egypt and I did it online, but you know, they say 48 hours, but somehow it didn't work. I landed in Egypt and I still had to buy the visa there. It's not a big deal. You lose 40 bucks, but you know, the thing is, you know, if you could do it online, it's easier and it's faster. Do it a bit ahead of time to make sure that the process is done by the time you arrive and that you have no issues. With COVID-19, please check 48 hours or 72 hours at the very latest before you fly, because these things change all the time, okay? You're gonna have a new variant and immediately the restriction will change. Before they ask for antigen tests and now it's PCR tests. It's 48 hours in advance, 72 hours in advance. Different kinds of condition may change very, very quickly, okay? And print everything, have everything in prints. If you cannot access the network, if you cannot access the internet, if your cell phone doesn't work in the country, you need to have a proof immediately and you want it on paper. Print that, bring it with you. Always account for your luggage and your carry-on when you look at ticket prices and what's included, okay? Because sometimes you might take a plane from Montreal to Toronto and it's cheaper to do a business class ticket than take a economy ticket and pay for your 2 extra luggage plus your carry-on, okay? These days, a lot of things are a la carte, okay? You're gonna have no food included, you're gonna have no luggage included, no carry-on included. You see all these in kinds of flights. So you're gonna have a very, very cheap flight, but they have nothing in. So you need to account for these things in the flight, otherwise you might be in trouble. If you have a long layover, okay, 5 hours, 10 hours, ask if you can have a hotel. Honestly, a lot of companies will offer that if you have business class. If you don't, then they will still give it to you if you ask, okay? Especially if you have 10 hours or 15 hours in between 2 flights. These things happen because of storm, delays, or just because the ticket is like this. Ask for it. Very often you'll get it complimentary, you won't have to pay a dime for it. Reserve your seat at booking immediately when you buy the ticket. A lot of airlines will allow you to do that directly when you book with them. The reason why is this: you have much less chances of being booted out of the plane if the plane is overbooked, Also, you will be able to choose the seat you want. And when I'm going to talk to you about which seat you should sit on, yeah, that really is useful, okay? Book your seat in advance, especially if you're a group and you want to be together. Try to do that as fast as possible and do it every time. Now, where should you sit? I always try to sit before the wing, before the reactor, so there's less noise, okay? Of course, if you're in business class, you'll be in the front, there's no issue there. But if you're in economy, you could try economy plus if the ticket's not too much expensive, or you could try to be as close as possible, like I said, to the front of the plane. The other thing too, choose the aisle seat, okay? Unless you're a group of 3 and you have 3 seats, that's okay. But I mean, if you're alone, choose the aisle seat. It's fun to look on the side of the plane when you take off, or look at the city when you arrive and land. But if it's a 16-hour flight like Montreal to Hong Kong, I'm sorry, but you're better off being able to get out of the seat to go to the bathroom without disturbing anyone, or just to get out and stretch, okay, not feel guilty about disturbing the people around you, than just seeing the takeoff and landing for a few minutes during that 16 hours. Always sit in the aisle seat. I'm always in there. The new trend is seat auctions, okay? You're gonna see that a lot, okay? So here, for example, I book a regular ticket, economy ticket, because I know they always have those auctions and I'm willing to take the chance. So instead of paying $2,500 for the ticket, I paid only $900. And then look, here they're offering me for $550 about in US dollars, so $1,500 total instead of $2,500. They offer me an upgrade to business class. This is very often. Air Canada is gonna have that all the time these days. Okay, so basically you could offer an amount of money, or they're gonna go with an auction, and the person that offers the most will get the ticket. So that's very, very good. Or they offer you a way to raise. It's basically an auction for business class, so the business class can be filled and you can get business class access for cheaper. It's very good. Understand the concept of single cabin with business class, okay? The thing is, very often business class does not necessarily mean like a flat seat or big seat, okay? It could be a single cabin that has a same seat you would have normally in economy, but maybe with some wine or some food that you would normally not have. So if you fly from Montreal, let's say, to Hong Kong via New York on United, of course, the flight from Montreal to New York, you're gonna have business class access, all the same benefit of business class, luggage-wise, and the lounge in Montreal and New York and everything. But the seat is gonna be a regular seat because they only have a single cabin. Beware of that when you travel with certain airlines. Always arrive 3 hours in advance at the airport. You never know what's gonna happen, okay? My last flight to Egypt was absolutely crazy. They forced me to leave my drone at the airport. I had to find a box, put in the box, find a way bill, get organized on a Sunday, and try to find somebody that would ship it to Canada for me. Cost me 2 hours. Hectic, okay? In JFK one time, I don't know exactly what happened, but it was like insane. Just to check your luggage, just to even, go to the counter, they were checking people outside the airport. I don't know if they had a bomb threat. I don't know if they had any kind of issues, but, it took 2 hours and a half before we could even get there. And of course, we didn't miss the plane because they delayed the plane, because otherwise everybody would have missed the plane. It was an international flight to Moscow. So yeah, they actually delayed the full plane, but if I had arrived later, maybe I would have missed it completely. Sometimes things happen. 3 hours is a bare minimum. So if you arrive early or whatever reason, always use the lounge. I always do. This is part of my ticket, price. Of course, I have it free with business class, and I have it free because I'm elite with United. But the idea is this: if I don't, I'm gladly paying the $27 with priority pass, and I'm definitely using the lounge, because if you're in a terminal, no matter what the food you're gonna buy in a terminal will cost you probably the price of the lounge, and you won't even have access to unlimited alcohol, which you do in the lounge. The food may not be as good, but honestly, just to relax, to have access to the internet, not have the bustling, of the terminal around you, and, being able to easily, have access to, a bit of food and shower and stuff, the lounge, very, very good. I always use it. Once you receive your boarding pass, once you have your luggage tag, I recommend that you take a photo of it. I have a scanner app. I always scan them, because you never know if you're gonna lose them, if you have any issue with them or any dispute or problems, or after your flight, somebody asks you, well, did you come in the country? How did you come? Do you have your boarding pass with you? If you don't have them, at least you have scanned them. That helps a lot. And a lot of employers will ask the boarding pass proof for travel to refund. So yeah, I always scan my boarding pass before I use them. So the minute I receive them, when I arrive at the lounge, I sit down, I scan them. That way I have a copy. If you travel a lot, use NEXUS or global entry. Very, very important. Okay, global entry in the US, NEXUS in Canada. That allows you to cross the border very, very fast. Okay, one time I didn't have any luggage. I got out of the terminal in Montreal in 7 minutes. Okay, I come in, boom, scan my eyes, get out. In the US, it's a bit different. The customs are a bit tighter. You're gonna have to talk to someone, but it's also very, very fast. Okay, they already have your fingerprint, your retinal scan. They already know who you are. You're already in the system. You've been investigated. So you talk to someone, it's gonna be very fast. You're gonna get out. That really, really helped speed up the process. Okay, you're gonna have also TSA pre-approved. You may not have to remove your shoes. Maybe sometimes you don't even have to remove your laptop from your luggage. It really, really helps. Always look at the total time of the flight, okay? Because the flight might be an hour and another hour here, but you might have 5 hours layover, okay? Or the price of the ticket might be, maybe $100 cheaper, $200 cheaper, but it's 30 hours instead of 15. Okay, because you have a lot of layovers or it drives you all over the world. You have to make sure that if you want to have a relaxed flight, a good amount of time, like for yourself rather than spending it in airport and in planes, make sure you have very short layovers and the amount of flight you're gonna take is less. Check it out compared to the price. Of course, if you have to fly 2 hours more to get a ticket that's $1,000 less, yeah, of course, it's $500 per hour, do that. But if it's not the case, then check and what's best for you. Always look at the business class and first class ticket when you look at your economy ticket, especially if you travel to tourist destination. Okay, you have no idea, and I'm showing you this now, and I have a full video proving it. You can check on the card up there. Okay, guys, I have bought business class ticket for cheaper than economy ticket, and I'm not talking with the luggage and checking the price like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I'm literally talking to you about their advertising a business class or first class ticket with food, lunch, everything cheaper than economy. Now, if you want to know exactly how that works in detail, how the algorithm works and why this is possible, check that video up here. I'm explaining it in details. All right, guys, anyways, if you like that video, subscribe to the channel and I see you in the next video.